All right, this is the second part of lesson 1.3, and today we're going to be focusing on comparing numbers. We're going to be looking at 5 different inequality symbols today. You might know from English class that if you have the prefix in front of a word, it usually means not. So we're looking at things that are not equal, or symbols that often show that two qualities or two quantities are not equal to each other. You have known some of these since first grade, sometimes even before. Here's the first one, the less than symbol. I like to think of it, it looks like an L, it's going that way like an L. And a lot of you remember the open mouth is going to whatever number is bigger, because like the alligator always likes to eat more. So if it's something like this, 2 is less than 5. Our next symbol looks the opposite way of that. That's the greater than symbol. These couple things are new, and they may be new. If it looks like the less than symbol but has a little bar under it, that's the symbol for is less than or equal to. If you have a symbol like this, it's greater than or equal to. And a lot of students get really confused with why does that work or when would we need to use that. So if we're like is less than or equal to, I might like to think of that as something like you're driving down the highway. When are you not speeding? You're not speeding if you're going less than or equal to 55. Okay. You want to get into the military. What has to happen? Well, you have to be greater than or equal to 18. Okay, so that kind of thing is when you might need the less than or equal to, the or equal to part. The final of the 5 symbols today is not equal to, which is just an equal sign with a slash through it. And it is important to note that if you're looking at a normal typical number line, the values of numbers always increase as you move to the right. So if we have 0 here, 1's obviously bigger, 2 is bigger than that, but that works for negative numbers too. So -1 is a bigger number than -3 is because it's further to the right on a number line. Okay, a little bit of vocab for you. Opposites. When we talk about opposite numbers, they're just numbers that are the same distance away from 0. So for example, 5 and -5 are opposites. They're both 5 spaces away from 0 on a number line. Absolute value, it tells you how far a number is away from 0 on a number line. You're writing the absolute value of n as these 2 vertical bars with an n or the number inside it. If I wanted to know what the absolute value of -6 is, have a symbol something like this, I'd be asking how far is -6 away from 0? And if you thought of a number line, -6 is 6 spaces away from 0. If I wanted a positive number, so say absolute value of 5, if I want to know how far that is away from 0, it's also 5 spaces away from 0, not -5 spaces away. Our distance is not going to be a negative number ever. Let's look at a few examples. Problems that I want you to try and then check and see if you're getting them right. So here's the first one. Write the following fractions in order from least to greatest. The fractions are -3/4, -7/12, and -5/8. When you want to compare fractions, I want you to do one of the 2 following things. You need to get them in some common form. So either getting a common denominator would be helpful, or writing them as a decimal. I usually pick writing them as a decimal, but I'm going to show you both ways. I'll show you the common denominator first. So if we're looking at these 4, 12, and 8, they all go into 24, so that might be a good choice of denominators. -3/4 says how many 24ths? Remember that we're looking 4 multiplied by 6 equals 24, so we need to do -3 times 6, so this is -18 24ths. Okay, -7/12. I'm doubling the denominator, so if I double the numerator, I'm having -14 24ths. And -5/8. If I make that 24, so I'm multiplying the denominator by 3, so this is -15 24ths. If these were all positive numbers, I would think 14/24 is the smallest, then 15/24, then 18/24. But remember that they're negative, so having like a negative number that's like negative 3,000, that's a lower number than -2. So in this case, our lowest number is negative 18/24. That means -3/4 is the smallest. Negative 15/24, that's the next lowest, so -5/8 is the second. And then the largest of these numbers is actually -7/12. Okay, just really quickly, let me show you how I do this as decimals. I would probably use a calculator. I know that fraction Barney means divide, so I'm going to do -3 divided by 4. That's going to be -0.75. That one I hope you actually memorized, but just in case. -7 divided by 12, that's -0.583 with the 3 repeating. And -5/8 is -5 divided by 8, that's -0.625. Okay, you're going to be able to notice here that again, -0.75 is the smallest negative. Okay, that's why we have it first. -0.625 is next, which is -5/8. We already chose that that was second. And -0.583, that's the largest, that's third. So that was a good way to double check, and I got the same answer. All right, now let's look at absolute value just a little bit, and then we're actually going to be done. This is a short lesson today. So find each absolute value. This says the absolute value of -2.5. Think about that on your own. How far is -2.5 away from 0? And you should get 2.5. Try the next couple on your own and see if you can get them. Okay, so B, absolute value of 9, that is 9 spaces away from 0. And absolute value of 0, well, 0 is exactly on 0. It is no spaces away from 0. Last question. What number or numbers have an absolute value of 12? So we're looking at a number line, and here's 0. I want to know all the numbers that have an absolute value of 12, so all the numbers that are 12 spaces away from 0. So notice it might go on both sides of 0. So it might be the 12 over here, but it also might be -12. Those are both 12 spaces away from 0. So in this case, -12 and 12 both have an absolute value of 12. Okay, thanks for watching today. That was quick and hopefully painless, and I will see you in class soon. Bye.